Hello everyone, this is Jeeves. I'm Gideon. I did a little work on him. I just wanted to show him off real quick. He's not totally done, but he's far enough along. I feel like he's good enough for a proof of concept of a project I've worked on. So Jeeves is a text-based web scraper built in Python. His purpose is to do a little research for diversity and inclusion on Fortune 500 companies' websites. Every company has a website where it talks about diversity and inclusion, and this was built for an organization who was trying to track that and say, how often are you talking about different protected classes? When I was doing that as an intern, I was like, we got to be able to automate this, and so I learned how to do it on the side here. So there's a lot of really great packages out there that I use for it. So he uses Scrappy, Pandas, Beautiful Soup, a little bit of Selenium in there, some other packages just to solve problems as they came up. It's pretty simple. Basically, just create a data frame of URLs in the first column with different protected classes on the top, and then I just do a count for each URL for the number of times each protected class is mentioned using the master list of terms. It's a pretty simple thing. I did it just using a triple nested for loop. I understand that this is my first time doing this, so I understand that there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of growth. But I still think this works, and it works for what this project's built to do. Now, there were a couple sites who elected not to be scraped, and rather than jumping into the whole area of trying to get around scraping and just playing whack-a-mole there, I decided to say, hey, if the company doesn't want to be scraped, that's fine. We'll go back and look at it ourselves manually. Most companies are very willing to let you pull the text. The trouble I got is when you try to save their website. That said, so there are a couple of companies here to run through I just found that weren't compatible. And I've done a little bit looking into them. Part of it's because there's some PDFs with HTML in them. Others are some other issues, and so I just need to... I've been thinking about some solutions there, but that's for another time. The scraping itself is pretty simple. It just, again, for everything in the data frame for each URL, I'm using a tracking variable that happened to be convenient for this project because each position for a company name is also where a tracking variable would be, so that worked out. And I just, for each one, it checks to see if it's one of the blacklisted sites. If it is, it puts it in saying, hey, this is a blacklisted site, and it puts in no data, so it's telling me to go back and do it manually. If it's a PDF, some of the links are PDFs, it saves the PDF, and then this part here looks for it and looks through that. Well, actually, the first thing it looks for is an ASPX. If it's a PDF, then it downloads the PDF, pulls the text from the PDF. That's what all this part down here is doing, and then saves it. And if it's just a nice standard HTML, it pulls the text body from it and saves it as well. And then the last two loops are where we're getting the data from. So the first one, it just goes through. Basically, this is just to pull the term list for that protected class, and then for each term in that term list, it'll do a search. And that's it. It's pretty simple, but it took a while to learn how to do all this and to develop it. And I guess I could let them running in the background a little while we're talking. So right here, this is the terms list. I'm still expanding it. It's a little limited right now, but it was enough to have a working model. And there he goes. It's pretty quick. When you're just pulling the text from the site, it's a lot faster than when you're trying to download images. And that was just me trying to check just to make sure that function worked, so it would check to see. But yeah, that's kind of it. This is Jeeves, and just showing what I can do. I think I can do a lot more if I keep learning. And you're always a little hesitant to show off your work because you know it can be better. You know that there's room for improvement. And it's a little bit hesitant. You don't want to be putting stuff out there when you know that it's there. But I think it's good enough to start, at least. So, and I look forward to improving them. I plan to keep working on them in the background because this is something where I've presented them to the organization I worked for, and they want them. So it's really a major time saver for them. It's taken a 6-month project for them down to about 10 minutes. Grant, and then you have to go back and scrape about 30 sites that aren't compatible with it, but 30 compared to 500 is a step in the right direction. And we'll keep getting it until we get it. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.